Minister, in many areas of very important public services, mental health, disability, special needs, the health service, our schools, we have chronic problems in recruiting enough people, retaining enough people. We've staff shortages, and this leads to a lot of hardship for a lot of people who need those public services. Have you any plans, particularly in the context of the upcoming budget, to address this problem?
Thank you very much, Deputy. The main way we have of addressing the challenges that you've referred to is, firstly, the pay agreements that we have in place up to 2026, aiming to bring forward wage increases of over 10% of over a 2.5-year period. That will be accompanied by the continued investment that the government will put in place in building new homes, in making sure that those who are working in our country, particularly working within our public services, that they have a better hope in the future of being able to buy and afford a home. So better wages, building more homes.
Well, in my opinion, Minister, it's not enough and it's not working. The Child and Disability Network teams, chronically understaffed, they can't recruit and train people. CAMS teams, half the staff they need. We had school principals in here last week saying that they and teachers are burnt out, stressed, and they can't recruit people, and they're actually relying on people who are unqualified now in teaching because they can't actually get teachers. Health service, similar picture. And the consequences, of course, are dire for service users, long waiting lists. I mean, I brought up a case today with the Taoiseach of a woman whose 5-year-old was diagnosed in 2023 with an intellectual disability and autism. They got an appointment for speech and language therapy in July 2024, and then they received a letter saying they're not getting it until January 2026.
Thanks.
Right? This is because of staff shortages. We need to do more.
Thank you, Minister.
So, of course, I accept and I'm aware that we have many cases across our public services of patients who are being let down, of constituents who are not receiving the attention and care that we believe they should. However, the analysis that you put forward that this is due to our inability to recruit and to keep staff is completely at odds with the reality of what has happened in the growth of our public services. So in 2015, we had 301,589 whole-time equivalents working within our public service. By the end of last year, that figure had risen to 397,000. So we have around 95,000 more people working in our public services. So that is not a public service that is struggling to recruit or retain people. That is a bigger and growing public service. By the end of this year, there will be over 407,000 people working in the public services in Ireland. So I'm not diminishing for a moment the individual and important cases that you are raising.
Thank you,
of those who are not getting the public services that they want. But there's more people than ever working in our public services. It's growing, and we're able to recruit and keep people for staff.
It is true the public service has grown after the disastrous austerity cuts. The government had to go into reverse because of the damage that they did after the economic crash. But in key areas that I've mentioned, CAMS, CDNTs, teachers, nurses, allied health professionals, we have a serious, serious problem, right? And this is causing immense hardship for the service users, long waiting lists. It's double whammies for people with special needs and disability. They get a hit in education, the kids, the parents, and then in terms of the services supposed to be provided by the HSE. compounded by things we'll be dealing with the next question about Section 39 workers and these things not getting the same paying conditions as other workers, which was absolutely crazy. The housing crisis hitting them, a major reason why they can't get the people that they need, and lots of young people qualified in these areas leaving the country. Minister, we have to do more. There's no point in saying it's all hunky-dory, because it's far from it.
Minister, to conclude.
I never said it was hunky-dory. Don't put words in my mouth. Never said that. I acknowledged and stood up and said you were raising real issues. But don't put words in my mouth. Don't suggest for a moment I'm not taking seriously the issues you're raising. What I'm simply saying is creating the image that our public services overall can't get and keep people is wrong. It's wrong to say that. The public services, the wages that we are now offering, which is a combination of the increases that we've been able to do, public service agreement, one after the other. Every single one of them I think you opposed. The wage agreements that we've brought in, you've always said they're not enough. You've always said they're not enough. We are now paying our public servants across many parts of our public services wages that are easily comparable to what is available in other parts of Europe, and in many cases ahead. So I just want to make that case regarding the scale and funding for our public services.